Hello everyone and welcome to Bay Area Focus. I'm your host, Michelle Griego. We have lots of good stuff happening this morning and we're going to tell you about some events happening all over the Bay Area. But first, let's go to the theater. We love that. The smash hit play Miss Saigon is touring across the U.S. and just rolled into San Francisco. And we are so glad to have two of the play's stars here this morning. Emily Bautista, who plays Kim, and Christine Bunuan, who plays Gigi. Welcome to Bay Area Focus.
Thank you for having us. Thanks.
Well, this is exciting. So you just came into San Francisco. Before this, you were in Providence?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's first talk about Miss Saigon, because there are some people at home who may not be familiar with this play. It's kind of a love story that makes you a little sad.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you know, the story, it follows Kim, my character, and Chris, an American GI, and it follows their love story throughout the Vietnam War. And, you know, the story is, it's told by the Vietnamese perspective on the war and also the American GI perspective. And it follows their journey to America and their attempts to get to America.
So you play Kim, and Christine, you play Gigi.
Yes.
Okay, who is Gigi in the play?
Gigi is one of the bar girls in Dreamland at the top of the show.
Okay.
And she has kind of been where Kim has, because Kim is kind of just getting to the bar, whereas I have been at the bar for a while, and she is one of the prostitutes at the bar. But then you kind of learn that the life of what these women had to go through in order to survive living in a war-torn country is very difficult, and they have to do this in order to survive, to unfortunately sell their bodies. So you kind of see what my story is, where she may be going to in the show. Yeah,
because this is not just a love story. This just tells you about historical events that took place, and the emotions of that, and as you said, a different perspective than the U.S. perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is interesting, and it's a legendary musical. I mean, so many people are familiar with this and familiar with the music, and we just saw video of the beautiful set. Is it intimidating to be a part of this?
Yes. Oh, yes. I think especially like growing up, this show has just been a very big part of my childhood, and my parents, when they were raising me, you know, they brought the music into our home. So I grew up listening to all of this and knowing about, you know, the legacy of Lea Salonga and the legacy of the show, and Cameron McIntosh, our producer. So yeah, it's crazy to be a part of.
How do you not let that pressure get to you?
Oh goodness! I will tell you. I'll tell you. Like, I have known this show as well since I was in high school many moons ago, and to be a part of this production, to work with Claude Michel Schomburg and Lawrence Connor, who is our director. Claude Michel is one of the composers of and writers of the show. I had one-on-one sessions with them, and it was like a dream come true. It took everything in my being to not cry, although I just gave up and just cried because I was living my dream. Right. And so many of my friends and family who live here in San Francisco and in the Bay Area.
You're from Vallejo?
Yes, I was born in Vallejo.
Which is awesome.
And then I grew up. Thank you. I grew up in Vacaville, so like 60 miles around like San Francisco. Like I have family all the way like to Sacramento even. So like all of these people know how epic this show has been to me in my life, and how many times I had auditioned for Kim. It was never really quite right for Kim, but I'm so happy that I've discovered who Gigi is. It was so challenging because I'd lived that life for so long, and then to discover this character was unbelievably challenging and wonderful at the same time, because we did a lot of changes in order for her to work for me.
Well, you two have been very busy traveling across the country, and you're going to go to Chicago after the Bay Area. What about some of the scenes? I know the helicopter scene is like a huge, huge thing. Are we going to see that on the San Francisco set?
Yes.
Yes.
We do have the helicopter.
Okay, do you get asked that a lot?
We do, but you know, it's an important scene. You know, the big spectacle of it is incredible. You sit there and you watch this this real helicopter come land on the set, and you feel the wind blowing. But on top of that, the scene itself that features the helicopter, it's just such an emotional and powerful scene.
Sure.
So yeah, but I actually love getting asked about that one because it's very cool.
Yeah,
and it's very heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
That scene that takes place.
Well, and when we first got to Providence, we got to just watch how it all worked out in the house, and then when we actually stepped onto the stage and did it, living the lives of what those people experience. There's nothing, you can't explain it. And like we're in the vibration, we feel the helicopter right there, and it's really intense and incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about it. Good luck with the role, and welcome home.
Thank you so much.
Hope
Thank you.
Your family members come out to see it as well, because I'm sure they're very proud of you on the stage there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
All right, don't miss them in Miss Saigon, playing through November 4th at the SHN Orpheum Theater in San Francisco. For tickets, just go to shnSF.com. Coming up, the Great California Shakeout when Bay Area Focus returns.